I like this port. A lot of boats. Quite a few sailboats, mostly power, but there's some sailboats. Big commercial fishing port. They have that big control tower over there, which actually looks abandoned, but it's not for an airport. So maybe it's for the fishing port. I don't know. We are in this most awesome little place that's just part of the marina, and we have just got these sandwiches, tuna, fresh tuna. Oh my god. Oh. Hi, hello. How are you?
Hoses and things are always a bit awkward.
So you need to get to the top of the tank so you can open up the vent?
Yes, I'm afraid so. See, there is a vent for when you're sucking fuel, water out, you know. So that, but that's just those plastic hoses that you saw there in the engine room. But the vents for fill it, but they don't let the air out quick enough, and you get all kinds of nasty noises. Hold on.
Stand by.
Standing by. Not ready yet. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to pull this out. I generally put a teeny bit of bleach in. Do you do that?
No, not yet, but yeah, like a teaspoon of bleach in the water tank.
Fraction of a cup, yeah.
So now we're filling the water tank. So what are you doing?
I'm the water control man. I'm not doing a very good job.
You're doing a great job. Look at that.
Look at my shoe.
Oh no! How'd you do that?
I'm standing here like, yeah, I'm water control man. Stupid. Looks like I pissed myself.
It's all fish out to dry. What a setup. Thousands and thousands of fish out in the sun. It's right off of this main drag. Oh, that one's got a zipper on it.
Yeah, what do you think?
If you like it,
Bumps?
try it on.
The big. Actually, I'm gonna try.
Easy.
Yeah, try that. Yes, sir. Huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah, because I normally never buy stuff, touristy stuff, but it's
not touristy.
it's a lot like the
beautiful
stuff at home.
handmade sweater
Yeah.
that you can get for what, a quarter of the cost that you could in Ireland.
Yeah, no, it's really nice, really nice.
Yeah, she's a good salesperson, huh?
She was great. She was
She's
really,
so cute.
I really couldn't say no to her. Like, I just couldn't do it.
Aww. We're taking some sort of rail car up the mountain, and I don't know what's at the top, but it was €1 to get on, and we'll see what's up there. Well, we just got off a tram, and this is what we found at the top: a whole bunch of tourist shops and some big old churches. I guess the big thing is this view.
It's a long way down.
It's a long way down.
Marina. Fishing harbour.
Some of these waves are just beautiful.
I don't know. And then again, if I quit cruising, which is going to happen, you can't do it forever.
Well,
I
some
may not
people
want
do.
to live with other cruisers, you know.
Some people do it forever.
Well, they do. I'll tell you a story.
I'm gonna do it forever.
You never know. You're only young. There was a guy called Frank Casper who lived in the Caribbean when we were there in the 60s. My wife and I lived in our boat, Iona, and he'd show up now and again. And we'd say, "Hi, Frank," you know, and he would sail across to Europe in the fall and come back in the spring, and he made that trip at least 14 times. And he had some problems with the boat, and this friend of mine, Dudley, his name was, he said, "Can you come on the boat, just give me a hand with this and that?" And I went on the boat, honestly, I wouldn't have sailed that across Great South Bay, let alone the Atlantic Ocean. It was a homemade plywood boat.
Yeah.
With galvanized rigging.
Oh God.
Just blue paint inside, you know, nothing special. And it looked terrible. And this guy would buy a £50 bag of rice and just live on it, you know. And
Oh my God.
anyway, he disappeared. He stopped coming. And one day I was in Bermuda talking to a guy called Bernie Oakland. It's sort of like the unofficial greeter. All the cruising boats that go to
Bernie in
yeah,
Bermuda.
St. George, yeah.
Yeah, I know Bernie. He helped
Sure,
me out.
everybody knows Bernie. So I was talking to him about Frank Casper. He said, he said he crashed on the reef here. And it turned out that he died at the tiller. And he was near the island, and the current took him onto the reef. And the police asked Bernie if he knew who the hell this guy could be, because Bernie knew everybody that never lived on a boat. So he identified Frank, and because he was American, they told the American consulate. And ultimately, the wheels ground away. And finally, this friend of mine, Dudley, was contacted by a lawyer from Florida, and Frank Casper was a millionaire. And,
Really?
yeah. And he'd left half his money to two friends in the Caribbean, Dudley and another guy, whose name I forget. And Dudley inherited nearly $500,000 in stocks, all good stuff, you know, allied chemical and all that.
So even though he was pretty well off, he had a boat that was.
He had a boat that was an absolute floating wreck. He lived on fish heads and rice, and he had $1 million in stocks. He had the Blue Water Medal from the Cruising Club of America for his trips across the Atlantic. And when they found his body, they also found the wreck of the boat. And many years later, a tourist skin diving found the medal actually on the reef. It's a big one. It's about this big, the blue water medal. And
Do you know how old he was when he passed away at sea? And do you know?
I would guess he was close to 80.
At the tiller, single-handed.
Yes, he always sails single-handed.
Me too, usually.
And I wrote up a little story about it for the Cruising Cover America magazine, which he was in. So. But I think if I quit sailing long distance, I'll probably lose interest in sailing. I might take I've got the Rhodes 19, I always like going out over to the bay.
Yeah.
To Fire Island or something.
That's nice. I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of think I'll always live on my boat.
As you get older, you can't avoid certain amounts of neutrality. And that's not really compatible with living on a boat.
Well, maybe I could get roller furling in the boom, electric winches.
True. No, but it's an active life living on the boat. Just even climbing down to the dinghy a few times a day is pretty active,
Yeah, but if you do it every day for your whole life, you're going to be able to do it all.
There's going to come a time. It's a difficult choice.
I've lived aboard for 15 years now.
Really? 15?
15, yeah.
It's a long time.
I've never lived on land, apartment, nothing. Not even temporarily. I've always lived, mostly in marinas, but still.
You see, that's not my style.
It's mine.
I always keep moving.
Yeah.
I've never stayed at a marina for very long. I mean, sometimes like at Alcantara, I've been there for a month. That's because I'm in New York, the boats there.
I look at houses and it just, I think I react differently than most people when I see a house. It just scares me, the thought that like if I lived in that house, then that would be it.
I know, you're stuck. What I like now really is I do like the challenge of organising a trip and pulling it off. Like fixing the start, dealing with the things that you can't anticipate. It keeps you young, actually, dealing with unanticipated problems like that. But I think, as I say, I'm reaching the end. You just can't do it forever.
I love the same thing. I find that at the end of any big, long, difficult passage, I'm like the happiest that I've ever been. Or could be, just being so proud that I pulled it off.
Yeah, it's nice to feel you pull something off. And it's something that not one person in a million knows anything about, really.